You might not believe this, but there are certain cooked vegetables, everyday vegetables you probably already have in your kitchen, that can help protect and even repair aging eyes while you sleep. Sounds almost too simple, doesn't it? But stay with me. I've spent over 30 years working with seniors, and if there's one silent struggle that truly breaks my heart, it's this: losing the ability to see clearly, not being able to drive confidently at night, not recognizing the faces of your grandchildren, not reading a menu, a book, or even your own handwriting without straining. For many, it brings embarrassment, having to ask others to read things for you, or fear hesitating to go outside because the world is starting to look blurry and faded, like a memory that's slowly slipping away. The cruel part, it often happens so gradually that we don't notice until it's already affecting our independence and freedom. Does any of this sound familiar? If so, please know this: none of it is your fault. Your eyes are aging, just like the rest of your body, but that doesn't mean you're powerless. Today, I want to show you something that has been sitting quietly on your dinner plate this whole time. Something that, when cooked the right way, can nourish and restore your eyes, even as you sleep. We'll look at 4 powerful vegetables, starting with the most obvious and ending with one that's surprisingly underrated, yet may have the strongest impact of them all. If this is your first time here, I'm Dr. Mark Turner, and this is Health 365 Day, the channel where we explore gentle, science-backed steps to take back control of your health. If that sounds like what you've been looking for, I'd love for you to hit that subscribe button. Now, let's start with the first vegetable, a classic that's been guarding vision for generations, though few know how to prepare it for maximum benefit. Carrots, the night vision booster. You've probably heard it before: carrots are good for your eyes, but maybe you've dismissed it as an old wives' tale. Let me assure you it's not. In fact, it's scientifically solid, especially for aging eyes that struggle to adjust to darkness or glare. Carrots are rich in beta-carotene, the pigment that gives them their bright orange color. But the real magic happens when your body converts that beta-carotene into vitamin A. Vitamin A plays a direct role in producing rhodopsin, a protein in the rods of your retina that allows you to see in low light. Without enough vitamin A, your eyes can't regenerate these light-sensitive cells properly. That's when night vision gets blurry, headlights become blinding, and you start feeling nervous about driving at dusk or in the dark. Now, here's something most people don't realize. Raw carrots alone won't give you the full benefit. Beta-carotene is a fat-soluble nutrient, which means your body absorbs it best when it's paired with a healthy fat like olive oil, ghee, or even a small amount of butter, and it's absorbed even better when the vegetable is cooked. Think of cooking as unlocking a safe. Raw carrots keep nutrients trapped inside tough plant fibers. Cooking softens those fibers, breaks down cell walls, and releases beta-carotene. When combined with a little fat, it becomes fully available for your body to use, feeding your retina exactly when it needs it most. Why is this especially helpful at dinner? Because your body does most of its cellular repair at night. That's when your eyes aren't working as hard and can focus on rebuilding. So, a warm dish of gently cooked carrots with a drizzle of olive oil before bed becomes more than a meal. It becomes a quiet act of healing. I'll never forget a patient of mine named Harold. He was 72, a proud grandfather, and a retired mail carrier. But he came to me frustrated, saying, "Doc, I can't see house numbers at night anymore. I feel lost, and I hate it." I suggested a simple change: roasted carrots with dinner 3 nights a week, seasoned with olive oil and a pinch of sea salt. 6 weeks later, Harold came back smiling. I drove to my daughter's for dinner, and for the first time in years, I didn't need to squint. The street signs were clear. It was like someone cleaned the windshield inside my head. That's the power of real food. Simple, gentle, and effective. Broccoli, the inflammation fighter, while carrots help sharpen your night vision. Broccoli works on a deeper level by protecting your eyes from chronic inflammation. We often think of inflammation as swelling in our joints or muscles, but inside the eyes, it works quietly, damaging blood vessels, weakening retinal cells, and slowly robbing us of sharp, clear vision over time. Broccoli is one of the rare vegetables that combine antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds in significant amounts. It's packed with lutein and zeaxanthine, 2 nutrients that your body sends directly to the macula, the central part of your retina, responsible for reading, recognizing faces, and seeing fine details. Think of your macula as the camera lens of your eye. Over time, it can become cloudy and damaged by light exposure, stress, and free radicals. This damage often leads to conditions like macular degeneration, where you begin noticing blurred central vision, wavy lines, or even dark spots right in the middle of what you see. The good news: lutein and zeaxanthin can slow down this process and, in some cases, even help repair weakened tissue. But again, the key lies in how you prepare broccoli. Raw broccoli, like carrots, locks away its nutrients in tough fibers. Lightly steaming it until just tender makes those nutrients bioavailable, ready for your body to absorb and use. And yes, a little fat, like olive oil or even a sprinkle of cheese, makes a big difference since these nutrients are also fat-soluble. I recall working with Gloria, a 68-year-old who told me I used to love reading, but now the words just float off the page. I suggested adding half a cup of steamed broccoli to her dinner a few times a week. 1 month later, she wasn't devouring novels yet, but she no longer had to squint to read her mail. That small improvement brought a huge smile to her face and more confidence to her days. Broccoli may not seem glamorous, but it quietly defends your vision, protecting the delicate structures of your eyes from slow, invisible harm. Kale, the vision protector among all the vegetables that support vision. Kale often stands at the very top. At first glance, it might seem like nothing special, just a dark leafy green, but nutritionally, it's one of the most concentrated sources of protective compounds we know. This is especially important for those facing age-related macular degeneration (AMD), a condition where the macula, the central part of the retina responsible for sharp vision, begins to deteriorate. AMD doesn't just blur your sight, it changes your life. Reading becomes exhausting, recognizing faces becomes a challenge, and even simple tasks like pouring a glass of water can feel like guesswork. Kale is packed with extremely high levels of lutein and zeaxanthin, the same protective pigments found naturally in your macula. These pigments work like internal sunglasses, shielding your retina from harmful blue light and oxidative stress. But there is a key point many people miss. Your body cannot produce lutein and zeaxanthin on its own. You must get them through food, and kale delivers them in abundance. However, eating raw kale isn't ideal for most people, especially seniors. Not only is it tough to chew and digest, but raw kale also contains compounds that can block mineral absorption and irritate the gut if consumed too often. Lightly steaming or kale softens these compounds, makes it easier to digest, and unlocks its full nutrient potential. Light cooking also helps preserve its vitamin C and vitamin K content, which are essential for maintaining healthy blood flow to the eyes and supporting tiny capillaries in the retina. I once worked with Marie, a 79-year-old retired librarian. She had already lost partial central vision in one eye and feared it would spread. She told me, "Doctor, I am afraid I'll wake up one day and not see my family clearly again." We introduced kale into her diet, nothing complicated. Just a quarter cup of lightly steamed kale drizzled with olive oil and a squeeze of lemon juice, 3 to 4 times a week. Over the months, it didn't reverse her vision loss, but it slowed the progression. Even more importantly, it gave her a sense of control, a feeling that she was actively protecting the sight she still had, rather than waiting for more to disappear. Sometimes, healing isn't about turning back the clock. It's about holding on to what you still have and strengthening it. And for that, kale may be one of the strongest allies your eyes will ever have. Zucchini, the gentle healer. Now we come to a vegetable many people overlook: zucchini. Soft, mild, and often treated like a simple filler in meals. It's rarely recognized for the quiet but powerful support it provides to aging eyes. One of the most overlooked causes of eye discomfort in older adults is dehydration. As we age, our bodies lose moisture more quickly, tear production slows, and the delicate tissues inside the eye, like the retina and optic nerve, become more vulnerable to pressure, dryness, and irritation. Zucchini is made up of over 90% water, making it one of the most hydrating cooked vegetables you can add to your meals. But it does more than just deliver water. It's also a good source of vitamin C, a powerful antioxidant that helps protect your eyes from cellular damage and maintains the collagen framework that keeps the cornea and blood vessels strong. Additionally, zucchini contains small but important amounts of manganese, a trace mineral essential for enzyme activity in the retina, helping your eyes process light and defend against oxidative stress. And here's what makes zucchini extra special: it's extremely easy to digest. For seniors who struggle with heavy meals or sensitive stomachs, zucchini provides nourishment without discomfort. You can steam it, or blend it into soups for an easy to chew, easy to absorb source of hydration and isoporting nutrients. One of my patients, Tomati, 1 year old, had been dealing with chronic dry eyes and nighttime irritation for years. Eye drops provided temporary relief but never solved the problem. We added lightly zucchini to his dinner 4 nights a week, just a simple recipe with olive oil, garlic, and a pinch of sea salt. Within a few weeks, Tom noticed his eyes felt less gritty. He wasn't rubbing them at night, and for the first time in years, he said, "I can finally close my eyes without them stinging." Small changes, big differences. That's how nutrition works quietly, naturally, over time. Combining these 4 powerhouses, by now, we've explored how each vegetable, carrots, broccoli, kale, and zucchini, supports eye health in a unique way. Carrots improve night vision, broccoli fights inflammation, kale defends against macular degeneration, and zucchini hydrates and soothes. But here's the beauty of nature: they don't need to work alone. In fact, when combined, they create a simple yet powerful dish that can nourish your eyes right when your body is most ready to heal while you sleep. This is not a complicated detox or trendy superfood bowl. It's a warm, simple recipe I've shared with many patients over the years. Here's how you can make it at home. 1. Start with a small pot and drizzle in a little olive oil. 2. Half a chopped zucchini until it softens. 3. Add half a chopped carrot and cook for 4 to 5 minutes until it begins to release its natural sweetness. 4. Toss in a handful of broccoli florets and a 1/4 cup of chopped kale. 5. Add a few tablespoons of water or low-sodium broth. Cover and steam gently for 5 minutes until the greens are tender but vibrant. 6. Season with sea salt and, if you like, a squeeze of lemon juice or a sprinkle of turmeric for extra anti-inflammatory support. What you'll have is more than a meal. It's a bowl full of warmth, softness, and vision-protecting nutrients delivered just in time for your body's nightly repair cycle. Some people blend it into a creamy soup. Others enjoy it as a side dish, with whole grain toast or rice. There's no single right way to serve it. What matters is consistency, making this meal 2 to 4 times a week, giving your body the chance to use these nutrients over time. Because healing is rarely instant. It's quiet, subtle, and built one good choice at a time. A final message: hope for aging eyes. If you've made it this far, I want to take a moment to say something simple and deeply important. Thank you. Thank you for caring about your eyes, your body, and your future. Thank you for taking the time to listen, to learn, and to believe just a little that things can still get better. Because here's the truth: aging does change things. Colors lose, contrast lights feel harsher, reading glasses get stronger, driving at night feels riskier. Sometimes, these changes happen so slowly, we barely notice how much we've adapted, how much we've lost, till one day, we realize just how blurry the world has become. But here's the hopeful part: your body still responds to care. Even in your 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond, your eyes are still capable of absorbing nutrients, rebuilding tissue, and protecting what vision you still have. No, we can't always reverse damage, but we can slow it, support it, strengthen what remains. And in many cases, small changes like adding these 4 vegetables to your evening meals can bring back a surprising amount of comfort and clarity. Why this matters more than just vision? Because this isn't only about seeing better, it's about living better. It's about reading a book without straining, watching your grandkids play without guessing which one is which, feeling safe when driving at dusk, seeing your reflection in the mirror, and recognizing yourself clearly. These moments may seem small, but they're everything. They're connection, independence, confidence, and sometimes, all it takes to protect them is something as simple as a warm bowl of gently cooked vegetables, carrots, broccoli, kale, and zucchini prepared with care a few nights a week. Your next step: so, here's what I want you to do. Pick one of these vegetables, the one you like best, and add it to your dinner this week. Start small. Notice how you feel. Then, try adding a second one. Eventually, bring all 4 together in a simple meal, and make it part of your evening routine. Not as a chore, not as a diet, but as a small act of kindness for yourself. A gentle reminder that you're still here, still caring, still willing to nourish the parts of your body that need it most. Final words from Dr. Mark Turner. I've spent over 30 years working with seniors, and I've learned something powerful. Healing doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't have to be a miracle pill, a risky procedure, or a radical lifestyle overhaul. Sometimes, healing is soft, quiet, built in the small choices we make, day after day, meal after meal. So, whether you've just begun noticing changes in your eyesight, or you're living with a diagnosis like macular degeneration, I want you to remember, you are not helpless, you are not too late, and you are absolutely not alone. Before you go, if this message gave you a little hope today, it helped you see that your comeback can start with something as simple as dinner, please do 3 small things for me. 1. Click like, so I know this helped you. 2. Subscribe to Health 365 Day for more science-backed tips to support your health naturally. 3. Share this video with someone you care about who may be struggling with their eyesight and could use a gentle reminder that there is still hope. And finally, tell me in the comments which of these vegetables will you try first, or are you already using some of them in your meals? Your story might be the reason someone else chooses to keep going. Until next time, I'm Dr. Mark Turner. Thank you for watching, thank you for caring, and never forget your comeback doesn't have to be loud, it just has to be real, one bite at a time.